Hi there. We're going to make an altered art journal out of a book, an old book. I have a set of 6 children's books. The stories in them weren't something I'd want my grandchildren to read, so I felt okay doing something with them. There's gesso in them on the covers and on the inside pages with mixed results. You'll see that. There's a digital or a information packet below in the description about what we're going to do over the next few weeks. One of these books is going to be included in a giveaway, but more about that later. These books are from 1958, 1960, so more than 60 years old. And there's gesso, as I showed you at the beginning, with mixed results. That pink ink, it just bled through multiple layers of gesso. But that's part of the adventure of making an altered book, of doing art in an altered book. We'll have to find a way to cover those up, right? This one worked out well, but I will have to watch out for that page with the pink. We'll find a way to cover it up, even if it's not with gesso. These books are in different stages of preparedness to be an art journal. And I have a list below in the description of all the options, what you could do in an art journal. I tore out 2, 3, 4 pages in between each one. Yep, there's some of the ideas of what you could do in an art journal. Just take a look below and when you're done with the video to see if you'd like to follow along and make your own altered book art journal. But first you have to find the right book with paper that would be useful and suitable for doing mixed media or painting or something like that. These pages are very porous. They accept paint and things very well. They're not slick at all. And by tearing out pages, I have room to add things like fabric or ribbon or lace or something. There's about 150 pages in each of these books. And when I'm deciding on what to tear out, I go to approximately the middle. And I just tear like this. 1, 2, and 3. It's as simple as that. I then grab a glue stick and glue together the 2 pages on either side of the torn parts. So I'm sandwiching them between the torn bits. I'm not making any pockets in this book, unlike last week. I'm just making a page that would be suitable to do art on. And my style of art is very simple. Many people do much more elaborate things. In the description below, I gave you my simple ideas of just making colorful marks and then adding something pretty and then finally adding a focal point. So as I go through the book, I start in the middle and I go forward, tearing out 3 at a time and gluing 2 together. And then I go backward, so toward the beginning, doing the same. And it worked out really well. After 4 of these books, I sort of got into a routine. It worked out well. Some of the books have 9 pages, some of them have 12 pages, depending upon how many I tore out and how many there were there in the first place. So for this book, I added gesso. You could add paint. I probably will paint on here. You can make marks. You can do all kinds of things. This paper, this information is below in the description. And so I'm going to show you now just an example of that. I took a book page that I'd torn, and I want to cover up one of the pictures. So I've put scribbles on the book page, and I'll show you in a little bit how I did that. I have a piece of mulberry paper, and that's pretty, and I have a focal point that is a die cut of some stamps from a hymn. These are the pens that I was scribbling with. They're by Mr. Pen. They're highlighters. I'll link below in Amazon where I bought them. They're very inexpensive. I use them in my Bible because they don't bleed through. So I'm scribbling, literally scribbling. And a little later, you're going to see me pull out a wet one, like a baby wipe. And these crayons, highlighters, they have a waxy texture. They get muted together. You'll see what happens. I find this time of doing art very meditative. I can listen to music, or I can have just silence. I can think and ponder on a concept. You'll see what I choose to think about on the focal point that I show you what I do in this page, art page. Now I'd like to do a giveaway of one of these books along with other bits and pieces from my stash, and you'll see at the end of this video I'll show you what I've put together so far. So in the meantime, leave a comment on this video, and if you do, you'll be entered to win, and again next week and one more week. So 3 times, 3 videos, and then I'll announce on the 4th week a winner of the giveaway. So there's an example. I'm showing you where I'm going to put this down on the page, and then I'm going to choose something pretty, because that's part of my art process, and you do your art process, or learn what kind of art you like to do. It's a way to get away from a screen, something digital, and it's a way of slowing down a little bit, whether you do it first thing in the morning or whether you do this, only on a Sunday afternoon. Making something is a way to slow down in this very busy and difficult time period. It's a way to calm your spirit. It's a way to focus on something important. And of course, my focal point is gratitude. Surprise! This page can be the focal point, and the page next to it, I can write down the things that I want to be thankful for. One thing that I want to do in an art journal is to practice calligraphy. And so, maybe that'll be a part of this. Tune in next week and see where this process goes. So, below you'll find the information, and I invite you to leave a comment, like and subscribe. I'm really happy to have you here. And here is what I've started with, putting together for this giveaway. One of the books. I haven't done anything to it, so you get a chance to tear out your own pages, and some slow stitching, and some charms, and some die cuts, and some different kinds of papers and bags. That's a glassine bag, and some tags that I've made out of music paper, and including those 2 little bottles. I use those kinds of bottles for glue. I'll show you next week how I put the glue in there. I won't send it with the glue because I don't think that's safe through the mail. But yeah, it gives you a sense of what sorts of things I can send your way. I wish you well. Thank you. And enjoy your time making things. Slow down, relax. Here are some ideas of things you could do this week. Take care. It's Lori at Positive Thanks Living.